Coders, today you're about to unlock the secret operating system hidden inside ICD-10-CM. Not the guidelines, not the coding notes, but the conventions, the 19 rules that control everything about how ICD-10 codes actually work. Most coders skip them, auditors never do. And your denials, your rejections, your wrong answers on exams, they usually trace back to these rules. So stay with me until the end, because once you understand all 19 conventions, ICD-10 stops feeling like a puzzle and starts behaving like a system.
Alphabetic index and tabular list. ICD-10 gives you two worlds. Alphabetic index, it's like your map. Tabular list likes the laws of the land. The index only suggests codes. The tabular decides them. And the index is actually 4 separate indexes. 1, diseases and injuries. 2, external causes. 3, neoplasms. 4, drugs and chemicals. When the index points you somewhere, you must verify it in the tabular. Because if the index is the hint, the tabular is the truth.
Format and structure. The ICD-10-CM tabular list contains categories, subcategories, and codes. Characters for categories, subcategories, and codes may be either a letter or a number. All categories are 3 characters. A 3-character category that has no further subdivision is equivalent to a code. Subcategories are either 4 or 5 characters. Codes may be 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 characters. That is, each level of subdivision after a category is a subcategory. The final level of subdivision is a code. Codes that have applicable 7th characters are still referred to as codes, not subcategories. A code that has an applicable 7th character is considered invalid without the 7th character. The ICD-10-CM uses an indented format for ease in reference.
Only codes are allowed. For reporting, you cannot use categories. You cannot use partial codes. You must use the full, valid code, including the 7th character when required. No shortcuts, no incomplete entries, ever. The placeholder X. This is the hero of ICD-10 that never given credit to. When a code needs a 7th character but isn't long enough, ICD-10 inserts a placeholder X. It holds the space so the code structure stays intact. Without the X, the code is invalid, denied, wrong in exams, especially in poisonings, injuries, obstetrics, and underdosing. The 7th character. If your category requires a 7th character, A, D, S, or others, that character tells the story of the encounter. A equals initial encounter, D equals subsequent encounter, S equals sequela. And ICD-10 demands it always be in the 7th position, even if placeholders must fill the gaps. Miss it once, and your code collapses. NEC and NOS. These two cause chaos for new coders. NEC, not elsewhere classifiable. This means the provider gave detail, but ICD-10 has no specific code. So ICD-10 forces you to code under Other Specified. NOS means Not Otherwise Specified. This means the provider did not give enough detail. So ICD-10 gives you an unspecified code. NEC means ICD-10 is limited. NOS means documentation is limited. Very different, and auditors watch this closely. Punctuation uses hidden instructions in ICD-10. Brackets, synonyms, alternative words, or manifestation codes. Brackets are used in the alphabetic index to identify manifestation codes. Parentheses. Non-essential modifiers. Words that can appear or disappear without changing the code. They are used in both the alphabetic index and tabular list to enclose supplementary words that may be present or absent in the statement of a disease or procedure without affecting the code number to which it is assigned. 2 colons. An incomplete term. Modifiers must follow it. They are used in the tabular list. Commas can mean alternate wording, essential modifier, or and/or. Commas are used in the alphabetic index. In ICD-10, punctuation is power. The word and. In ICD-10, and means and/or. So if a title says bones and joints, it includes bones, joints, bones and joints. It's inclusive, not restrictive. Other versus unspecified codes. We covered NEC and NOS, but here's the deeper story. Other specified codes. Use when documentation is complete, but ICD-10 lacks a unique code. Unspecified codes. Use when documentation is incomplete. If ICD-10 doesn't offer an unspecified code, Other Specified steps in as a stand-in. Includes Notes. Right under a 3-character category code, you'll see Includes. This tells you exactly what the category code covers. Think of it as ICD-10 saying, before you code, make sure you're in the right neighborhood. Inclusion terms. These are lists of specific conditions that belong under a code. But here's the twist. They're not complete lists. Even if your condition isn't listed, it might still belong if the alphabetic index directs you.
Excludes notes. 2 types, and one of the most misunderstood rules. What's the real difference between excludes 1 and excludes 2? Excludes 1 means not coded here. These conditions cannot occur together, like congenital versus acquired forms. But if the conditions are clearly unrelated, you can code both. Example, F45.8 and G47.63, psychogenic dysmenorrhea plus sleep-related teeth grinding? Yep, you can code them together. Now excludes 2 is simple. It means the condition is not part of this code, but both can be coded at the same time. So remember, excludes 1 equals don't code together, unless unrelated. Excludes 2 equals go ahead, code both. Etiology Manifestation Convention. Here's a quick ICD-10 rule that every coder must master. Etiology before manifestation. Whenever a condition has an underlying cause and a resulting symptom or complication, ICD-10 tells you exactly how to sequence it. Look for 2 clues. Code first at the manifestation code and use additional code at the etiology code. This means underlying condition goes first, manifestation second. Manifestation codes usually include the phrase, in diseases classified elsewhere, and these can never be the first listed diagnosis. Example, Parkinson's disease with dementia. Alphabetic index shows G20 first, followed by F02.80 or F02.81 in brackets. So you must code Parkinson's, then the dementia. Master this pairing rule and your sequencing accuracy skyrockets. The word and should be interpreted to mean either and or when it appears in a title. For example, cases of tuberculosis of bones, tuberculosis of joints, and tuberculosis of bones and joints are classified to subcategory A18.0, tuberculosis of bones and joints. The word with. When ICD-10 uses the word with, it automatically links conditions.
diabetes with neuropathy, hypertension with CKD, psych disorder with insomnia. Unless the provider clearly says otherwise, these conditions are coded as related. See and see also are commands. ICD-10 says, "Go there, look again. The correct code is not here." See also is optional. It means you may find something better if you look.
Code also. Sometimes one code isn't enough. Code also tells you you may need two codes to describe this condition fully. But here's the suspense. It gives no sequencing direction. You decide based on documentation.
Default codes. These are the safe choice codes listed next to a main term in the index. If the documentation doesn't specify a type, you assign the default code.
Coding versus clinical criteria. This is the rule every coder must tattoo on their brain. You code what the provider documents, not what labs or imaging suggest. If there's a conflict, you query the provider. Your job is not to diagnose. Your job is to translate documentation into accurate ICD-10 language. And those are the 19 conventions, the hidden architecture of ICD-10. Master these, and coding stops feeling like guesswork. You'll code faster, cleaner, more confidently, and with far fewer denials. If you want a full PDF cheat sheet of all 19 conventions, just comment below, "Send me the cheat sheet." And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because next we're breaking down the ICD-10 guidelines the same way.